It's all the rage during the coronavirus quarantine. Whether you're looking to get informed,
there are several measures you can adopt to protect yourself and others,
entertained, or inspired.
Nice to meet you too.
Oh my God, this is such an exciting honor for me. You are my newest and biggest hero.
TikTok is the trending platform where people are getting connected during this period of social isolation. According to the company, TikTok had 26.5 million monthly active users in the U.S. last year. 60% of those users were between the ages of 16 and 24.
TikTok was the most downloaded app of 2019, more than any other app in the country.
And now this popular app is the subject of a congressional inquiry over how TikTok handles user data.
It is owned by a Chinese company, and it is required under Chinese law to share user data with Beijing. And TikTok has admitted that it has sent user data to China. To put it bluntly, this is a major security risk for the American people.
Senator Josh Hawley has been a vocal critic of big tech's ties to China and what it means for the millions of American users.
I can tell you, as the father of two small children, who already have many of their friends on social media, I find this absolutely horrifying.
During a Senate Judiciary Subcommittee hearing, Senator Hawley outlined the national security implications of TikTok's data collection policies, and he says it goes far beyond images and videos like this one.
TikTok also collects information about the messages that you send, about the apps that you use, the other apps on your phone. It collects the sites that you visit. It collects your search history. It collects your keystrokes. It collects your location data.
TikTok claims user data is stored in the United States and that China does not have jurisdiction over content that is not in China.
That's nice, but all it takes is one knock on the door of their parent company, based in China, from a Communist Party official, for that data to be transferred to the Chinese government's hands whenever they need it.
Senator Hawley is referring to the company ByteDance. A TikTok spokesperson tells Court TV the parent company is located in the Cayman Islands, but has subsidiaries in multiple countries, including the U.S. and China. And according to TikTok's 2019 Transparency Report, the company has not received a request from China to turn over any user data. The Pentagon, the State Department, Homeland Security, and TSA have all banned their employees from using TikTok on government devices.
The Pentagon even went so far as to say that employees should have their children uninstall TikTok from their personal devices.
And last month, Senator Hawley took it one step further by introducing legislation banning all federal employees from using TikTok on all federal government devices.
And Court TV reached out to Senator Hawley's office, did not receive a response. However, we did also reach out to TikTok and got a comment from them. Let's take a look at what TikTok has to say about all this. While we think the concerns are unfounded, we understand them and are continuing to further strengthen our safeguards while increasing our dialogue with lawmakers to help explain our policies. The statement goes on to say that the company recently brought in a seasoned cybersecurity expert to serve on their leadership team in the creation of a transparency center based in Los Angeles. Let's bring in Julie Grant. Julie, a couple things strike me about this app is what's the real purpose behind this app? I mean, I don't know, how do they make money, number one? Number two, the creators don't make money, but they're collecting all this information from us. I mean, to me, that's kind of scary.
Yeah, it is very scary. And the tough part is the app is so much fun. And I know you mentioned you haven't used it before, but it's a blast. And that is the thing that's really tough. It's how much of our privacy do we want to give away? We're constantly giving away our privacy with everything we do. And I always feel like we need to operate under the premise that nothing is private, nothing is entirely secure. And here, now we're seeing this congressional concern with this and where that data is going. And I think the big question is, if that data is being compiled, and we know there have been allegations about this, there's even been a class action lawsuit about this that's currently pending. If it is being compiled, then what's it being used for? I think is the big question. Is it to carry out a fraud? Should we be thinking about identity theft? I mean, I feel like that's something we should always be thinking about. I know you know this, Vinny, having been a prosecutor and a parent. We should always be thinking about that, especially with our children, right? Because they're the biggest targets for identity theft.
Yeah, and a big concern. I mean, Chinese companies, their partners are the Chinese Communist government. So if they want access to this information, I don't know how difficult it would be for them to get it. They say it's not happening, but really? Let's take a listen, because the other concern here is with an app like this is our kids and cybersecurity for our children. And here's what the expert you spoke to told us.
You know, people's time horizon tends to be short, and I think parents in America don't tend to think about their kids as targets for a collection of compromising information by a foreign power. However, as you know, information doesn't die or isn't necessarily deleted unless you force it to be deleted. And that means that in a longer term trajectory, if you look sort of a decade or two into the future, foreign countries and foreign governments might have very deep and comprehensive data sets about American consumers, and that is a challenge for sure.
You know, Julie, I'm thinking another way, and he's talking about consumers getting that information, but what, 10, 20 years down the road or 20, 25 years down the road, a future American president may have this TikTok app, and someone has all the data of every search that this president did, and somehow that could be used to I mean, to me, all of this is really, really dangerous.
Oh, you're absolutely right, Vinny. And that's a great example. I love that example. And I think that's a great one that parents watching your show right now should take home to their children. If you have that aspiration to run for president, and you should worry about what's going on there and do not use it. The best way to avoid your data being compromised and your privacy being compromised is don't do it. And if you choose to do it, then you're running that risk. And so you're right, all that data. And think about job applications. We know from the report that those using it mostly are between the ages of 16 and 24. We're talking high school graduates, college graduates, those looking to enter the working world and climb their way up in the working world. And we both know employers will dig deep too into that content and go look and what's on the app. So to be mindful of what kind of videos you're using. But yes, certainly a concern, and you're right. Could be very, very dangerous depending on if that information is potentially getting into the wrong hands.
Yeah, be careful of free things. There's always a catch or a hook. Julie Grant, great information. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Vinny.